Silver right now is at an all-time low. Is it about to spike? Could you make a killing off of owning silver right now? Well, let me tell you my opinions. Always remember to do your own advice, do your own research as well. Take your own advice. Don't necessarily just listen to some guy on the internet. But I think silver is about to explode. And this is why. Well, let's look at silver right now. We'll look at some trends and we'll compare it to gold as well to kind of show where I think it should be at. Right now, silver today is only $15.42 per ounce. Now, remember, if you buy physical silver, there will always be above spot prices to get that bar sent to you and for that bar to be made. So really, if we're talking realistically, gold or silver is more like $17, $18, maybe even $19 an ounce. But still, I think silver is about to absolutely boom in price. And this is why. Right now, silver for recent era is at an all-time low. If you look at $15.41, the last time we hit that was September of 2009. And what happened in 2008, 9, and 10? Well, the market crashed, real estate housing bubble exploded, and silver went up from $15 an ounce all the way up to $48 per ounce in 2011. That's a phenomenal return. But gold, let's take a look. Gold in 2009, we said September, right? Was around here, only $900 per ounce. And it only about doubled up to $1,800 per ounce at its peak. That differential in price between silver and gold is substantial. On top of that, there's another thing to look at. Silver in recent times has just gone up, or gold in recent times has just gone up and up and up. And especially since February, has gone up over $100 per ounce. That's pretty substantial. That tells you that the big boys playing in gold think that times are about to get rough. But silver has a lot more common people like you and me buying into it as a security out of fear. We could also see, let's take a look. The oil crisis of the late 90s or late 70s led silver to explode in value, once again going up a multitudes of percentages. Our housing crash of 2008, 9, and 10. Again, silver exploded in multitudes. But gold, both of these, it went up in value, but it didn't go up phenomenally. It went up just a good percentage. We can also see the gold to silver ratio, speaking of when silver went up extreme back here in 2008, 9, 10. The gold to silver ratio tanked. But right now, the gold to silver ratio is at an all-time high. But why is it that silver follows a bit behind gold, and why is it as well that silver just explodes in value whenever any crisis occurs? Well, it's back to what I was saying earlier. The big boys play in gold. Us little guys play with silver. And a lot of times, people buy out of fear. People think the nation's going to collapse and the currency's going to fail. So anybody who can put any money down buys what they can in silver because you can get more, it's easier to come across, and it's just more usable. It's going to take a lot for us to be trading, potatoes for gold. But buying some potatoes with silver if things go real south is not unlikely if the worst comes to worst. That's why silver in times of crisis spikes much higher than gold does. But let's take a historical look to tell you what I think silver should be worth today if times were good. But as well, what I think silver will be worth if this crisis continues and some sort of economic recession does begin. Let's go back to the gold and silver ratio, because I think that's a good starting point. The gold and silver ratio, we can kind of take an average, somewhere about here. And where does that lead us? Well, it leads us to roughly $60 or 60 ounces trade. So 60 ounces of silver leads us to 1 ounce of gold. That's kind of a good rough average, if you ask me, foregoing this current 110 ounces. But that means that right now, I think silver should be worth about 84% more than it is. And how do I get that number? Well, I take what it currently, the gold to silver trade of 110 ounces, I divide it by what I think it should be, about 60, and that leads us to 184% rise in value of what we should have. Well, we can also go back to our silver price, see that it's about $15.4 per ounce, times it by that 184%, the 84% I think it should be higher, and that leads us to, I think silver should be somewhere about $28 per ounce. But that's if times are good. There's a likelihood that, there's a possibility, I should say, that times do not stay good. The growth of our economy takes longer than is currently being portrayed to us, and that we might enter a recession. And if we look back to past recessions, silver prices have spiked. So I think it's not unlikely that silver could possibly see 40, 48, 50 plus dollars an ounce. And that's why I am putting money into silver right now personally, because I think that silver is undervalued substantially. And I think you should look into buying silver too, because if times don't get tough, I still think silver is undervalued. Again, we can see that because the big boys play in gold and the big boys are buying gold. And even if it's not, well, we can see that the gold to silver ratio here shows that silver is undervalued. There should be no reason this differential is getting so large. Anyways, remember to do your own research, take your own advice. But I personally think that silver is a no-brainer to buy right now. Thanks for watching.